They absolutely do. We're certainly seeing a rebound in markets, and certainly the rhetoric out of Greek officials does appear to be less belligerent. I think what really we need to find out is whether or not EU officials actually like what Mr. Varoufakis has to say with respect to these measures about a debt swap. I think in principle it sounds like a good idea. I think the key question is whether or not the ECB or EU authorities consider it monetary financing or a significant restructuring. So the fact that we haven't had any EU officials come out and dismiss it out of hand is positive, but it's very early days. It's only worrying if the ECB cuts them off. At the moment, I don't think there's any danger of that. The negotiations are ongoing, and while the negotiations are ongoing, the ECB is compelled, I think, to continue to fund these Greek banks. After all, Greece is still part of the euro area. The early indications are they want to remain part of the euro area. So while everyone's talking, the ECB should continue to provide liquidity. It's as simple as that. Yeah, they are, and a reduction in capital expenditure, not too much of a surprise. I think what was surprising that it was a fairly minor reduction from around about $25 billion to $20 billion for 2015. But Mr. Dudley has managed to maintain the dividend. The company continues to cut capex. Only last week it announced plans to pare down some of its assets in the Gulf of Mexico, in the Gila oil field, where it basically pared down its stake unto an equal measure with respect to ConocoPhillips and Chevron. So going forward, Mr. Dudley is hoping to reorientate the company for a significant period of much lower oil prices, and certainly the market does seem to like the initial outlook. I think the key question really going forward is maintaining the dividend. And at the moment, given what we've seen from other oil companies like Royal Dutch Shell, I think the tendency is to protect that at all costs. So I think going forward we can expect to see further reductions in capital expenditure.